Beloved, listen. In a world trembling with fear, in a generation clouded by confusion, in a time when hearts grow weary and darkness seems to tighten its grip, hear the whisper that breaks through the noise. I am with you, not just in your victories, not just when you feel strong, but I am with you in the midnight hour, in the storm that rages, in the valley of shadow and loss. This is not the voice of a man. This is the eternal promise of the living God. He is Emmanuel, God with us. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Before you ever breathed your first breath, he saw you. Before your heart beat its first beat, he knew you. Before you uttered your first word, he spoke over you, words that the world could never erase. You are mine. This is the mystery and the wonder of his promise. I am with you. It is not a promise that began the moment you called on his name. It is a covenant that was written before time began. He was with you when you didn't even know how to call for help, when your voice was silenced by fear or shame, when your mind was clouded by confusion, when your life was a tangled mess of questions without answers. Even then, especially then, his presence was not far off, but closer than the breath in your lungs. Think of the times you thought you were abandoned, those dark nights you laid awake staring at the ceiling, wondering if anyone saw you, if anyone cared. He was there sitting with you in that silence. He heard every unspoken word, every hidden tear that fell on your pillow. You thought you were alone, but you were never alone. He was the unseen hand that steadied you when you almost fell. He was the whisper that told you to get up one more time when everything in you said, give up. He was the shield that kept the worst from breaking you when you thought the storm would drown you. Remember, before you knew him, he knew you. Before you chose him, he chose you. Before you loved him, he loved you with an everlasting love. And even when you ran, and you did run, when you turned your face away in rebellion or disbelief or disappointment, he did not turn his face from you. He waited. He pursued. He stood at the door of your heart and knocked and knocked and knocked again. Imagine a young boy lost in a crowded marketplace, crying because he can't see his father anywhere. Panic grips him. Every stranger's face looks unfamiliar and cold. But what the boy doesn't see is that just steps away, his father never took his eyes off him. Even when the boy darted behind stalls and weaved through crowds, the father's eyes followed every move, protecting him from a distance, waiting for the moment to reach out and say, I was with you the whole time. You were never out of my sight. That is the truth of your life, beloved. You were never out of his sight, not when you fell, not when you failed, not when you were covered in the mess of your own mistakes. He was there, not to condemn, but to carry you, not to punish, but to redeem. The God of all creation has been weaving your story with threads of mercy long before you ever understood his name. And today, he wants you to know this. Every chapter that tried to break you only revealed how near he was to you. This is why you are still standing. This is why you're hearing this now. Because the message is not new, it is ancient, and it is eternal. I am with you. Not because you have it all together, not because you've earned it, but because he is love. He is faithful, and he has never, not for one heartbeat, let you go. If he was with you before you even knew his name, then hear this now. He is with you right here, right now, even in the fire you face. It's one thing to know that God was with you in the past when you can look back and trace his fingerprints on the pages of your story. But what about now, when the heat is so intense you feel like you can't breathe? When the flames of life's trials threaten to consume everything you hold dear? This is where his promise shines brightest. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, for I am with you. This is not just a poetic line. This is a holy guarantee that the flames you stand in will not be your end, but your purification. He is not a distant observer standing on the other side of the fire, calling you to make it through on your own strength. No, He steps into the flames with you. He becomes your covering, your shelter, your fourth man in the furnace. Remember the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These young men stood for righteousness when an entire nation bowed to idols. Because of their stand, they were thrown into a furnace so hot that it killed the soldiers who carried them. It should have destroyed them instantly, but when the king looked into that furnace, he leapt to his feet in amazement and asked, "Did we not cast 3 men bound into the fire? But I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they are not hurt, and the 4th is like the Son of God." Can you see it? The fire was real, the flames roared, the heat was deadly, and yet instead of destroying them, the fire only revealed the one who was always with them. The very thing that was meant to destroy them became the stage on which God's presence was seen. That's how it is with you. The enemy may have turned up the heat to break you, but instead, the flames are burning away the ropes that once bound you. What was designed for your destruction will become your declaration that God is with you. In your own life, think back. Haven't there been moments when the heat was unbearable? A diagnosis, a betrayal, a loss you thought would crush you, yet here you are, still breathing, still standing. You didn't make it through because you were strong enough. You made it through because He was with you in the fire. His presence didn't always take away the flames, but it kept you from being consumed by them. So hold this close. Your fire is not evidence that God has abandoned you. It's proof that He's closer than ever. In the hottest places, His nearness becomes undeniable. He is the God who enters your furnace, walks with you through it, and brings you out without even the smell of smoke clinging to your life. If you are in the fire today, lift your eyes. Look again. The 4th man is with you. You are not alone, not for a moment, and you never will be. If He was with you before you knew Him, and if He is standing with you now in the fire, then trust this, beloved. He goes before you to make a way. His presence doesn't only walk beside you in the storm, it steps ahead of you into the unknown, preparing a path through the wilderness you can't yet see. Sometimes we forget this part. We stand staring at doors that look locked, paths that look blocked, obstacles that tower over us like mountains. Fear whispers, "How will you ever get through this?" But listen, you do not walk blind into tomorrow. The one who holds time in his hands is already there. When Israel stood before the Red Sea with Pharaoh's army charging behind them, fear gripped every heart. They could see no escape, only water ahead and death behind. But God said to Moses, "Why do you cry to me? Tell the children of Israel to go forward." It didn't make sense. Forward into what? There was no bridge, no boat, no visible way. Yet as they stepped forward in obedience, God Himself made the way, parting the sea, walling up the waters on both sides, so they could cross on dry ground. The sea that looked like a dead end became a pathway to deliverance, because the one who was with them in Egypt was now going ahead of them into freedom. This is how He moves in your life too. You see barriers. He sees breakthroughs. You see impossibility. He sees the miracle. He's already prepared. There are doors you could never unlock on your own, but He holds the keys. There are battles you could never win in your own strength, but He goes ahead of you as the captain of the angel armies. You may not know what waits around the corner, but He does. And He's not just waiting for you there. He's clearing the ground, breaking the chains, setting ambushes against every enemy that dares to stand in your way. Think about it. How many times did you look back on a season you thought would crush you, only to realize the doors swung open at just the right moment? That relationship that ended and broke your heart, now you see it was God's hand redirecting you. That job you lost that made you feel worthless, now you see it was the doorway to something greater you never would have chosen on your own. All the while, He was working behind the scenes, weaving mercy into every setback, turning detours into divine appointments. So if you stand today before a red sea of uncertainty, hear Him say, "Go forward." The way may look impossible, but your God specializes in impossible. The waters may look deep, but the one who parts seas walks before you. He doesn't just promise to be with you. He promises to go ahead of you, to fight for you, to make rough places smooth and crooked paths straight. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to open every door by yourself. Just trust the one who goes before you. If he brought you through the fire, he will lead you through the sea. And when you come out on the other side, you'll know you never walked alone. Not then, not now, not ever. If he was with you before you ever knew him, if he is standing with you now in the fire, and if he goes ahead of you to prepare the way, then hold this deeper truth close. He dwells within you. He is not only beside you or ahead of you, he has made his home in you. The very Spirit that hovered over the deep at creation, that raised Christ from the dead, that parted seas and shut the mouths of lions, that same Spirit lives within your heart right now. This is not a distant God watching from the heavens, hoping you make it through. This is Emmanuel, God with us, now God within us. His presence is not something you visit on Sundays or when you feel holy enough. His presence is the breath in your lungs, the fire in your bones, the still small voice that says, "You are not alone." This is the mystery the prophets longed to see. Christ in you, the hope of glory. It's one thing to know he goes before you, but it's another to know he is fighting battles inside you. He is at work in your hidden places, your thoughts, your struggles, your weaknesses. He is the strength in your surrender, the grace in your failure, the power that picks you up again and again when you stumble. His Spirit transforms you from the inside out, not by your might or your striving, but by his indwelling power. Think about Peter, the man who loved Jesus but denied him 3 times. In his own strength, Peter was bold one moment and broken the next. But after the resurrection, Jesus breathed on him and said, "Receive the Holy Spirit." Then at Pentecost, the same man who cowered in fear stood before thousands and preached with such power that 3,000 souls were saved in one day. What changed? The Spirit who was once beside Peter now lived within him, making him bold, unshakable, and unstoppable. You may feel weak. You may feel unqualified, but the Spirit within you is not limited by your limitations. He is your counselor when you're confused, your comforter when you're grieving, your strength when you have none left. He convicts, he restores, he empowers you to do what you could never do alone. You don't have to carry this life in your own fragile hands. He holds you, and he fills you with resurrection life every single day. So when fear says you're not enough, remind it, I am not alone. I am a temple of the living God. When the enemy whispers that you're too broken, too weak, too far gone, declare, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. This is not wishful thinking. This is the unshakable truth. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the grave lives in you to raise dead hopes, dead dreams, dead faith back to life again. You do not just walk with God, you carry him. His presence in you is the answer to every fear and every impossibility. If he dwells in you, then no darkness can overcome you, no lie can define you, no chain can bind you forever. You are never alone, because the King of Glory has made you his dwelling place. And where he dwells, there is freedom, there is power, and there is unshakable hope. If he was with you before you knew him, if he is standing with you in the fire, if he goes before you to make a way, and if he dwells within you even now, then trust this final promise with all your heart. He will be with you always, even to the end. His presence is not temporary. His promise is not fragile, fading when you fail or growing dim when life feels too dark. No, his word stands eternal, unbroken, and unshakable. I will never leave you nor forsake you. This is the truth that anchors you when the storms of life roar louder than your hope. This is the promise that holds you steady when the path ahead feels hidden and the future uncertain. He is not the God who abandons his people halfway through the story. He is Alpha and Omega, the author and finisher, the beginning and the end. The same God who formed you in your mother's womb will carry you in your old age. When your strength is gone and your breath grows faint, his faithfulness remains. Sometimes we fear endings. We fear goodbyes, the passing of time, the losses that seem to multiply as years go by. But beloved, he is the God who goes beyond time. He holds every ending in his hands, and for every ending you fear, he has already written a greater beginning. Nothing, not even death, can separate you from the love of God in Christ Jesus. Think about John, the beloved disciple. When all the other disciples were scattered or martyred, John found himself alone, exiled on the island of Patmos. His friends were gone. His ministry seemed silenced. His body was weary. But even in that desolate place, the one who promised, "I am with you always," came to him. John looked up and saw the risen Christ standing among the golden lampstands, his eyes blazing like fire, his voice like many waters. The one who was, who is, and who is to come, alone on an island, yet not alone, abandoned by men, yet surrounded by glory. This is your hope too. When people fail you, when loved ones depart, when the world turns its back, his presence does not waver. When you stand at the edge of your life and take your final breath, you will not step into the darkness alone. You will step into eternity held by the same faithful arms that carried you every day of your life. So do not fear what's ahead. Do not fear the closing of chapters or the passage of time. The one who was with you before you ever knew him, the one who walks with you now, the one who goes before you and lives within you. He will never leave you. His promise does not expire when you grow old. His love does not wear out. His presence does not grow weary. Even to your final heartbeat, he will be the strength in your weakness, the light in your darkness, the hope that does not disappoint. And when this life fades, you will find that he has not only been with you, he has been waiting to welcome you home. The last word over your life will not be loss, fear, or death. The last word will be his. Well done, beloved child. You are mine. I am and always have been with you. To stand, beloved child of God. Stand in your battle. He is with you. Stand in your brokenness. He is with you. Stand in your waiting. He is with you. When the enemy whispers, "You're alone," remember, the King of Kings has declared, "I am with you." The world may shake. Nations may tremble, but his presence will hold you. Lift your eyes to the hills. From where comes your help? Your help comes from the Lord, maker of heaven and earth. Walk boldly into tomorrow, for you do not walk alone. The great I Am walks beside you. And he says to you right here, right now, "Fear not, beloved, I am with you." Amen.